I'm Joe Scarup, and I'm the editorial director for RIS News, and I'm here at the Retail and Consumer Goods Analytics Conference, and really happy to be here with a good friend and longtime colleague, Greg Girard of IDC.
Pleasure, Joe.
And Greg was just on stage and did a session about one of the futuristic topics we had covered here, which is artificial intelligence. And Greg, I'm going to steal a line from your presentation. You said there's nothing artificial about artificial intelligence. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that it's not rocket science, it's real. And it's not, it doesn't have to be a science project to implement it. For the past couple of years, we've heard about it being a mobile-first world. It really needs to be an analytics-first world, and mobility is just one single channel by which the next best action is taken, but those next best actions have to be informed by analytics. And the future of analytics is artificial, but it's artificial in that it's based on a set of capabilities that are real today, founded around machine learning, but get applied to the demands of natural language processing, automated decision making, ingestion of copious amounts of data. Now, I think ingestion is an important word, right? As I look at artificial intelligence, I think of 6 things that it can do, okay? It's got to ingest data. It's got to understand the relationships between all the different data that it brings in. And you made the point earlier, Joe, that we don't have enough data, contrary to the common wisdom, because there's lots more data we can bring in, but we need to understand it. So it's ingest, understand, and then reason through it and the relationships to it to understand to make inferences, to make judgments, to predict outcomes and recommend actions. Then it needs to be able to interact with the teams. All along it needs to learn. And in order to remove the stigma of the black box and to demystify it, machine learning and artificial intelligence has to be able to explain what it does in ways that people can consume. That can be done verbally, or it can be done graphically, some really nice visualizations.
You know,
I like to think of it as URLIE.
Which is?
Well, it starts with ingest, understand, reason, learn, interact, and explain.
Okay, Urli.
Urli.
Okay, I'll remember that. And 6 points. Now, we were talking about artificial intelligence, and it sounds like it's mysterious in a way. It sounds like it's confusing. I mean, I've seen the word buzz around through all sorts of press releases and marketing pieces, and what's the practical application of artificial intelligence?
In 2 broad strokes, it's supporting the augmentation of decisions that are already made through analytics, and it's enabling new types of activities that hitherto were not informed by analytics. So I'll give you an example of the latter, just to bring it out. The ability to craft a emotive subject line for an email can be informed by an understanding of personality insights and the emotional tone and content. Now, a lot of people can do that, but imagine doing it at scale so that you're writing personalized, emotionally attuned subject lines to individual customers. You can't do that at scale through the human mind, but a machine could eventually do something like that, and it's beginning to approach that. Now, improving and augmenting an existing point would be in supply chain, right? Being able to identify causal factors that might disrupt the demand for something and then percolate back into the supply of it.
So those are definitely practical applications, and you know, as we look into the future, even of a year or two, I foresee this as being a game changer. Do you agree?
I think it's really important to understand that the modality of artificial intelligence, people have used the term cognitive to describe what it is. I think in the future we're going to see it as participatory. We've seen examples of people using Alexa as the interface between it, right? And more, that's an individual participation, and it's an intelligent assistant. More and soon we're going to see AI becoming a team member that might even say, you know, in order to make that decision right, we need Jim involved in this meeting because Jim's got a lot of data that's relevant to this. Okay, so that really changes, that's a big game changer. I don't think we need to be afraid of it. The other thing is going to create a difference in the demand of skills that are going to be needed to create additional improvement. I said earlier, I think that the demand of the demand for the skills of the data scientists as the driver of innovation will lessen as the need for the skills and insights of the line of business subject matter expert increases, because that's the thing that really trains the algorithms. One last point, and this is real important. The value equation between code and data changes. Vendors have come to the table for 20 or 30 years with code, and code's been the thing that's driven insights. Well, today, with machine learning, it's data that trains the code. Who owns the data? The retailers and the CPG companies. Data becomes a precious commodity. So we heard a lot of conversations today about the value of data curation, data governance, making sure that you've got the right data. Right? It's not just garbage in, garbage out, but as someone said, it's garbage in and an explosion. Something blows up.
Yeah, data is currency, as we heard today, and it's going to be a very, very productive currency as it's fully developed in the future. Well, anyway, thank you for your comments, Greg. Appreciate you being here at our conference, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks, Joe. Great to see you today. Bye.